we have a massive update for the next week, and you better buckle up. General Hospital spoilers for the next 2 weeks, from August 24th to 28th. Nobody saw this coming. I mean, we all knew Anna Devane was struggling after her WSB captivity and the whole Ross Cullum nightmare. But guys, everything may have just changed. If you ask me, this could be the biggest mistake of someone's life. We are talking about the police chief herself completely losing her grip on reality. Anna is hearing voices. Not just any voices, but the sinister, manipulative whispers of Peter August. And here is where things get absolutely terrifying. Peter's ghost, or rather, Anna's shattered psyche projecting him, is pushing her down a dark, murderous path. You thought Anna was just going to sit behind her desk at the PCPD and file reports? Think again. She is secretly orchestrating a deadly, inescapable trap, and her target is none other than Britt Westbourne. But wait, it gets worse. Britt has been complaining about her shifts at General Hospital clashing with Dr. Tristan Roberts, completely oblivious to the crosshairs painted on her back. Anna's hallucinations are telling her that Britt is the enemy, that Britt knew about Cassius Phaeton's twin deception all along and needs to pay the ultimate price. Imagine the tension, guys. Britt is finally free from the threat of a terminal illness, finally hoping for a future, maybe even wondering if Jason Morgan will look her way again. But Anna is using every resource at her disposal, every ounce of her police authority, to lay the groundwork for a devastating takedown. The dominoes are falling, and Britt has no idea she is standing right at the end of the line. And then everything spiraled. Because while Anna is hunting Britt on the outside, the inside of Pentonville is about to explode. We all know Curtis Ashford was backed into a corner, forced to take a plea deal for a short stint behind bars after that whole mess with Isaiah Gannon. But that wasn't the real problem. The real problem is who is waiting for him in lockup. Jen Sidwell. Guys, this is where it gets interesting. Sidwell didn't just get arrested to fade into the background. He is a predator, and he has just spotted his prey. Sidwell is not going to let Curtis serve his time in peace. He knows Curtis is desperate to get back to Portia and their newborn son. Here is where things get messy. Sidwell isn't just asking for a favor. He is using the ultimate leverage. He is threatening Curtis's family. Imagine Curtis sitting in a cold cell, realizing that his wife and baby are in the crosshairs of a ruthless criminal mastermind. Sidwell is blackmailing Curtis into becoming his right-hand man in a disastrous, high-stakes prison break. If you ask me, Curtis is trapped in an impossible nightmare. If he refuses, Sidwell's operatives on the outside will target Portia. If he agrees, he becomes an accomplice to a massive federal crime, destroying any chance of a normal life. The tension is suffocating. Every second Curtis spends in that cell, the walls are closing in, and Sidwell is pulling the string. But that's not even the biggest surprise. Let's talk about Trina Robinson. She has been trying to keep her distance from her parents' drama, focusing on her music career with Gio. But danger doesn't care about your boundaries. Trina has a stalker, and this unseen threat is rapidly losing patience. We are not talking about a few creepy text messages, guys. We are talking about a relentless, unhinged predator who is closing in fast. And what happened next may be even worse. Kai Taylor, who is already caught up in the dangerous web of Drew Kane's recovery and Willow's secrets, is about to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I am telling you, this is going to be brutal. My theory, Kai is going to be the first victim of this stalker's violent escalation. Kai knows too much about Drew. He is trying to protect Trina, and that makes him a massive target. Imagine Kai walking down a dark pier or stepping out of the Metro Court, suddenly realizing he is being followed. The stalker doesn't want anyone standing between them and Trina. Kai's life is hanging by a thread, and Trina has absolutely no idea that her newfound success is triggering a deadly obsession. The body count in Port Charles might be about to rise, and nobody is prepared for the fallout. Now, let's shift gears, because the Quartermain estate is about to turn into a war zone. Willow moving into the mansion is creating a toxic, suffocating atmosphere. You have Tracy breathing down her neck, Drew secretly regaining his mobility and plotting his revenge, and Willow desperately trying to hold on to her pristine image. But Michael Corinthos is about to light a match and toss it into the powder keg. Michael is going rogue. He is making reckless, rule-breaking moves that are going to blow up in everyone's faces. If you ask me, Michael's reckless actions are about to drag Nina and Jack Brennan into an endless vortex of trouble. Nina and Brennan have been heating up, sharing steamy kisses, and desperately searching for that missing black briefcase to use against Drew. But Michael's erratic behavior is going to expose their secret. Imagine the chaos when Michael inadvertently crosses paths with Brennan's underworld connections. Nina is going to be caught in the crossfire, forced to choose between protecting her fragile relationship with Willow and standing by the dangerous, calculating Jack Brennan. The dominoes are crashing into each other, and the Quartermaine mansion is going to be ground zero for the explosion. Guys, this is where it gets interesting. Amidst all the mob violence and blackmail, we have a blossoming teen romance that is destined for disaster. Rocco Falconeri and Scout Quartermaine. They have been leaning on each other, sharing sweet moments while their families tear each other apart. But there is a massive storm brewing, and his name is Drew Kane. Drew is recovering, he is angry, and he absolutely despises Sonny Corinthos and Jason Morgan. So what happens when Drew finds out his precious daughter is dating Sonny's nephew? The same nephew who shot Ross Cullum? The very act that Jason Morgan took the fall for? I will tell you what happens. Absolute fury. Drew is going to intervene with a vengeance. He will forbid Scout from ever seeing Rocco again. But, teenagers, the more you push, the harder they rebel. This isn't just a Romeo and Juliet story. This is a full-blown family feud that will force Danny, Jason, and Sonny into the ring. Rocco is already carrying the heavy guilt of the shooting, and now he is going to be stripped of the one person who brings him peace. Drew's intervention is going to ignite a war that will tear the younger generation apart. But wait, we have to talk about the new mystery in town. Hudson Parker. He arrived in Port Charles looking for someone, and he is currently hitting a massive dead end. He is struggling, piecing together fragments of a puzzle that nobody wants solved. Ethan Lovett already fled town in a panic, leaving Ava Jerome to dig for the truth about baby Phoebe's paternity. But Hudson is connecting the dots, and his suspicions are mind-blowing. Hudson suspects that Phoebe is actually Delilah's biological child. Think about the implications of this, guys. Brooklyn adopted this baby, using her as a pawn to guilt-trip Chase into spending more time at home. If Hudson proves that Phoebe belongs to Delilah, Brooklyn's entire world will shatter. Chase will realize his marriage is built on another layer of deception. Hudson is relentless. He is digging through hospital records, tracking down Ethan's old contacts, and he will not stop until he rips the lid off this secret. The fallout will destroy families, and Ava Jerome is waiting in the wings to use this information to her absolute advantage. And just when you thought it couldn't get any more intense, let's fly across the globe to Ireland. Laura Collins went there to visit Kevin and bring little Ace home. It was supposed to be a sweet, peaceful family reunion. But this is Port Charles, guys. Nothing is ever peaceful. I am predicting that Laura's trip is going to end in absolute tragedy. She is going to walk into a nightmare. My theory, Kevin is hiding something massive. We are talking about a secret lover or a shocking revelation that will put their entire marriage on the brink. Imagine Laura opening a door in Ireland, expecting to see her loving husband, and instead finding a betrayal that shatters her heart into a million pieces. Is it a woman from his past? Is it a dangerous connection to the Cassadine? Whatever it is, Laura is going to be blindsided. Her marriage has survived so much, but this might be the final nail in the coffin. She will have to pack up Ace and return to Port Charles, a broken woman facing a city that is already tearing itself apart. Let's bring it all back together because these storylines are bleeding into one another. You have Anna Devane, a woman sworn to protect the city, secretly plotting to murder Britt Westbourne under the influence of Peter August's ghost. You have Curtis Ashford, a man who just wanted to protect his family, being forced to engineer a violent prison break by Jen Sidwell. These are good people being pushed into pure darkness. The moral compass of Port Charles is completely shattered. And while the adults are destroying their lives, the kids are caught in the crossfire. Rocco and Scout's forbidden love is going to trigger Drew's explosive wrath, while Trina is being hunted by a stalker who is about to turn Kai into collateral damage. No one is safe. Not the Quartermains, not the Corinthos family, and certainly not the innocent bystanders. Michael's reckless vendettas are pulling Nina and Brennan into a black hole of blackmail and deceit. The sheer velocity of these secrets is staggering. Hudson is one DNA test away from ripping baby Phoebe out of Brooklyn's arms and exposing the Delilah connection. If Ava gets her hands on that proof first, she will use it to blackmail her way to the top of the Port Charles food chain. Everyone is playing a dangerous game of chess, but they are all blindfolded. One wrong move, one slip secret, and the entire board goes up in flames. And that changes everything. Because as the week comes to a close, someone is going to make a fatal error. Anna's trap for Britt is set to spring. Sidwell's prison break is reaching its violent climax. And Trina Stalker is stepping out of the shadows, knife in hand, ready to strike Kai down. A secret is about to be exposed. A character is about to meet a grim fate. An empire is about to crumble. You absolutely cannot miss what happens next.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.